Let's have a party and drink up a lot of beer. Let's have a party and drink up a lot of beer.
Woo! Welcome back into another. As we're coming around the fourth turn here on a very special holiday beer buzz. Every Friday we do the Friday beer buzz. This is a special hour-long edition here with Bill from mybeerbuzz.com. Mrs. BeerBuzz is here. Vince Sweeney is here. Hello. The guys from Oronce are here, and we've been selling beers. And these are all delicious beers that you can, which are perfect for the holidays, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And you can grab any one of them or all of them at Krugel, Georgetown Deli and Beer on Route 309 in Wilkes-Barre Township, out there by the Big Cow.
By the Big Cow. And all these beers age well, and that is our beer question. Okay. How do I properly age a beer? We're doing vertical tastings today, which involves bringing the beer back from a year ago, sometimes longer. So you got to age it right.
Well, you know what, Bill, I'm sure that some people don't even realize, aging a beer, it sounds kind of foreign.
Yeah,
I would think.
It does.
Yeah. But it's a very, it happens. People do it all the time, right?
They do. And again, like we said earlier, it depends on the beer. A fresh hop beer, don't age it, drink it. Mm-hmm. Drink it fresh, you know.
I'm usually in that line.
Yeah, not that that's a problem for us normally. But if it's a stronger beer, Belgian Dark Ale, an Imperial Stout, Mad Elf, some of these ones that we've been drinking today, they age really, really well. Age them upright. Unlike a wine that you want to keep the cork moist, with the beer you do not want the beer and the cork to touch. You don't want them to stay apart.
So that little bit of space up there, you generally have the carbon dioxide in there.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And with a wine, it keeps the cork moist, and that helps the wine.
Right.
With a beer, it imparts flavor into the beer from the cork, and they don't want that.
Right. So it reminds me of that bit on SL. Remember the cork soaker thing?
Yeah.
We won't go into that.
Well, I'm certainly glad
the cork soaker bit. Say that a couple of times.
You want to age them vertically, standing up. You want to put them in a dark place, and you want to put them in a cool place. And you want to put them in a place that stays pretty uniformly cool. You don't want something, the trunk of your car in the summer is going to get a little hot.
But you're not talking about, I got to buy another refrigerator. This is someplace in the basement where maybe you got 58 degrees, 52 degrees, something like that.
Yeah, and you don't want to put it next to the furnace. You don't want to put it next to the window.
On top of the water heater.
On top of the water. Top of the water heater. Hadn't thought about that one. That's a good one, too. Yeah, you can put them in a cardboard box, and that'll keep a lot of light out if you don't have a particularly dark location.
Right.
And keep them uniformly cool, 45, 50 degrees, and they will age really, really well. We're lucky enough to have a sub-grade basement at the BeerBuzz homestead.
Yes, BeerBuzz headquarters.
Yeah, so it stays uniformly cool, and I have everything padlocked in a safe so that Mrs. BeerBuzz can't get near it. So it stays dark. We should go on to our fourth beer here. We can cover the.
All right, let's do it.
Our fourth beer comes from Harrisburg, PA.
All right, just down the road.
It is my favorite holiday beer and one of my favorite beers of all time. Our beer for the fourth segment and last segment is Troegs Mad Elf.
Yeah. Troegs Mad Elf. Oh, that's perfect selection. What a nice name for our producer, Katie Moore. Nice.
Thank you, Katie.
Mad Elf doing a little singing. Nice.
Mad Elf.
Katie. All right, Troegs Mad Elf. We love Troegs. Troegs is, I visited Troegs, and we had the Hopback Ale, I think.
We did. Our very first beer on the show was Hopback. And we love Troegs beers. Chris and John Trogner out of the Harrisburg area, moving into a new brewing facility in Hershey. And we should mention this beer, this Troegs Mad Elf, if you buy a case of this beer, whether you buy it at the brewery or buy it at the distributor, they are doing sort of a Willy Wonka thing where there is a golden ticket in one of the cases of Mad Elf. And if you get that golden ticket, you get to be the first to tour their brewing facility. And apparently in that case, too, there are original labels from 9 years ago or so when they first did Mad Elf in the case. And that's how you know you got it. So if you get a case that has a funny label on it and a golden ticket in it, be sure to give it to me. It's obviously bad beer, and return it and quickly. I will take care of it.
Bill will handle that for you. Yeah. You're a giver, Bill.
Thank you.
Yes.
This is a giving season.
This is a giving season, and I would love to tour the facility with you. You never know. I think it could happen. We do have a case of Mad Elf that we got last night. My buddy Steve brought one back, so we're going to pop ours open and hope that there's a golden ticket in there.
You know, as I put my nose over the glass here, and I've had Mad Elf, of course, on more than one occasion, but in fact I had a bunch of it last year when I put up the tree. You should see how that turned out. But you get...
Like this tree here.
Yeah.
That you brought in.
Our Charlie Brown
A lot of
Christmas
work.
tree. There it is right there. The video's on WILKnewsradio.com and on mybeerbuzz.com, by the way, they will be. Anyway, I get like it's like cherries, a little bit of cherries.
Yeah, and that's what this beer is famous for. It's a quad style beer, which is a Belgian style. They infuse it with honey, so they add honey to it, and that gives it what I would call a little dull, but not dull in a bad way. It takes some of the sharp edge off it, so it gives it a dull flavor. And it's made with Pennsylvania cherry.
And this is fresh.
This is fresh 2010.
Right.
As we speak,
This is a really Mad Elf.
Mrs. BeerBuzz is pouring 2009 Mad Elf.
Ooh.
How mad can the elf be after a year?
Calm down, somewhat.
Most people mellow out over time.
Hey, did you ever have a short boss?
A what?
A short boss?
Did I ever have a short boss?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay,
He was a Mad
you know
Elf.
how mad
We remember the double G.
So we're going with the vertical tasting here. Now we have the 2009
Joe?
Mad Elf here. All right, you give this a try and see.
And this is 11%
Oh, that's
alcohol.
more cherry-like, and it's less sharp again.
Yeah, not as sharp.
Not as mad.
Well, you can call that mellowed or whatever you want to call it, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's sort of taking the edge off of it.
Is that typical? I mean, generally speaking, when you age a beer, is that kind of the way it always goes? Or
Yeah.
I mean, is there ever a point where like you get something that has more of a bite to it?
The flavors mesh, and they'll blend together a little bit more. And Mrs. BeerBuzz is also frolicking around here looking for Mother BeerBuzz's Christmas cookies.
Oh.
We can't seem to find them.
Did we lose the Christmas cookies?
No, they're in the box somewhere.
Don't look in my office. I did not put them in.
Oh, no, someone stole cookies.
So the cookies are missing.
Can't happen.
And that will be our second part of our Friday Beer Buzz. Who stole the cookies?
Hour two.
Who stole the kushka?
So they blend together. So you get a little bit more of a blended flavor, and the cherry won't be so strong, and the honey won't be so strong. It will be a bottle-conditioned beer, so it will be a stronger beer. So you'll get 13% maybe out of this if you wait a couple years. 2009, it's probably still around 11%, which is what the fresh is.
Is there a big movement, or is it my imagination, for beers to become sweeter and sweeter and sweeter? I remember. I think I remember when I was really young. Excuse me. Beer was not sweet.
No.
It was dry.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the hallmark of a good beer, that it was dry and had a very, very crisp finish.
Yeah.
And now it seems like most beers have gotten sweet. Is that just to appeal to a broader
Yeah,
taste?
it is. It's American breweries experimenting with more different ingredients. It used to be back when you had the Reinheitsgebot, the German beer purity laws, where you could only have yeast, water, hops, and barley in a beer. That was it. They weren't allowed to put spice in it. They weren't allowed to put fruit in it. And so that has changed. The American brewers are pushing for bigger beers, pushing for more flavors.
All right, so we're winding down here our
We
very
are.
special holiday beer buzz.
We are.
We can go look back a bit. Bill, you know, what number show are we on? Do you have an idea?
I
We've been
do.
counting.
We are somewhere in the show number 35 neighborhood.
So we should talk a little bit about, just quickly, some of our favorites.
You should start.
Okay.
If you had to pick out a couple of favorite beers or a
Favorite beer.
that we
First of
tested
all,
on the Friday Beer Buzz.
absolute favorite beer of all, Gothica. Gothica favorite, Three Philosophers close. I also liked Govna. I loved Govna, the canned beer.
Yes, that was.
So I would say that's a nice, refreshing one for the summertime, I would think.
Well, I love the Gothica too, but I would say, we mentioned it a minute ago here, the Trogs Hopback Ale, the first beer we actually sampled, I liked very much. I liked Breaker Brewing's Black Diamond IPA, because I love IPA, I'm a hops fan anyway. And seasonal, we've had some great seasonal beers, some holiday beers here today, but again, Breaker Brewing's Belsnickler is one of my favorites.
And you guys have hit on a lot of them. I really like Hopback. We did Bell's Two-Hearted Ale, which is one of my favorite beers, and I like that a lot. For me, hands down, Three Philosophers or Mad Elf. I mean, these two are neck and neck for me. Very similar styles. Gothica for sure. Belsnickler for sure. We've done a lot of different beers, but those
Vince,
pop out for me.
when you reach for something on the shelf, what do you typically go for? Number one choice all the time.
I would say inevitably it's a Sierra Nevada product, either Pale Ale or Torpedo.
And Joe Thomas?
Joe, what did you like?
Well, the three that I'll be forever grateful for you for introducing me to will be Three Philosophers, Yard's Philly Pale Ale,
That's it, yeah.
and Gothica.
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 Yeah.
And Mrs. BeerBuzz.
And Mrs. BeerBuzz.
And Mrs. BeerBuzz.
She's a tall drink of water.
This has been a very special...
Let's have a have a party and drink up a lot of beer. Well, wine is fine, but give me lots of beer. Wanna drink some beer?